Apple just revealed all their secret sauce for creating immersive video, and it's finally coming together on Vision Pro with visionOS 26. From native support for 180 video on the Canon EOS VR system to 260 video on the Insta360 X5 to an entire new format called Wide FOV captured using camera like the Insta360 X Pro 2 or the GoPro HERO 3. This update is a must learn for all spatial creators. In this tutorial, we will dive deep into all of it. I will walk you through how to encode and publish Apple Projected Media Profile, aka APMP, recommending the right resolution, projection, and color profiles, and explain why Apple's immersive pipeline is so different, especially with tools like the URSA Cine immersive camera and the ASAF audio format. If you missed WWDC 25 or skipped the developer section, don't worry, this video has everything you need to know packed into one place. Let's get into it. We have already covered 3D and spatial video pretty extensively on this channel, but here's what's new. You are no longer limited to just the iPhone or Vision Pro to capture spatial video. Canon now make it possible with the R7 and even the new Canon R50 using this lens right here, the RF f7.5mm f4 STM dual lens. We will have a full review on this setup coming soon. Now, here's where things get interesting. Apple now supports 3 entirely new types of immersive video, all captured with fisheye lens or a wide field of view lenses. That includes 3D 180-degree video like what you can get from the Canon dual fisheye lens on the R5C. It also includes full 260 video from cameras like the Insta360 X5 or the Canon Qoocam 3 Ultra. And there is a brand new category called Wide FOV, captured by camera like the Insta360 X Pro right here, GoPro HERO 3 or DJI Action 5. This format opened up a whole new world of immersive storytelling, and the best part is they are now natively supported on Apple Vision Pro. Now, for the more technical folks watching, let's break this down a bit. 260 video, also known as equirectangular video, is usually delivered in a 2:1 ratio. This format wraps the video around the viewer inside Vision Pro, giving you a full 360-degree field of view. But here is the catch. When the equirectangular image is reprojected into the sphere, the top and bottom get stretched, which means the image quality, especially in those areas, take a hit. In most cases, you are looking at about half the effective resolution compared to something like the Apple immersive video format shot on the Blackmagic URSA Cine immersive camera. 180-degree video is referred to as half-equirectangular, and it typically comes in a 1:1 ratio. You might know them already as VR 180 video on the Meta Quest. Apple doesn't use the traditional side-by-side stereo format like VR 180 here. Instead, it uses something called MV-HEVC, and I have talked about it quite a lot on this channel already. But just to recap, MV-HEVC takes advantage of the similarity between the left and right eye's video stream. It encodes one eye normally and then just encodes the difference for the other eyes in the same video stream. That makes the file smaller, more efficient, and a whole lot easier to stream over the internet. For example, most of our 3D 180 video on our visionOS app, Spatial Film right here, are streamed in MV-HEVC, and that's exactly why the quality looks better compared to traditional method you see on Meta Quest or YouTube VR. The only exception is our latest film, Vanilla Lily, A Stroke of Destiny right here. That one is delivered in 16K 8K per eye using Apple's immersive video format. We'll talk about that later. Now let's talk about a new format that you probably haven't heard of it until now. Wide FOV. For video shot on action cameras, this is really smart move by Apple, and it's actually something Meta Quest or Pico headset don't support yet. So yeah, this is pretty unique feature on Vision Pro. Action cameras like the Insta360 X Pro or the Go 3 right here capture an extended extensively wide field of view, over 120 degrees, and in some cases close to 170 degrees. If you have ever looked at the raw footage straight from the sensor before it's processed through something like the Insta360 Studio, you have probably seen how straight lines get warped into curve near the edges. Now, here's where Apple does something clever. visionOS used that raw lens data to map the curved surface into a 3D sphere inside Apple Vision Pro. Place the viewer right at the center of the action. Using some serious smart math, it dewarped the footage based on the exact lens profile of the camera. And this works so well because Insta360 has been working directly with Apple behind the scene. So when you play back that footage on Vision Pro, it basically acts like a live version of Insta360 Studio, using the same dewarp calibration profile, giving you a pixel-perfect immersive view with maximum field of view and no fisheye distortion on the edges. This technique is what Apple call parametric immersive projection. Don't worry, we will have follow-up tutorials showing you how to prepare your footage, probably without needing to do any math yourself. But I want to lay down the technical foundation for those of you in the academic space or just getting started, especially students. And hey, if this kind of content helps you, it really supports the channel when you subscribe and share this video with other immersive creators. To support all these new media types, you will need to update to the latest version of visionOS, which adds support for a new QuickTime or MP4 movie type called Apple Projected Media Profile, or APMP for short. Now, the good news is, as a filmmaker or content creator, you don't need to worry about manually converting your file into APMP when the new updates are here. For example, if you're shooting VR 180 on the Canon EOS VR system and render it through the latest EOS VR utility, Vision Pro will recognize and support it natively, no extra step needed. As long as you follow our recommended workflow for rendering, whether that's through the Adobe Premiere or even just using the free Google Spatial metadata injector to tag your final export with proper metadata, your video will play perfectly on Vision Pro with simple steps which I will show you next. Now, for Wide FOV video, the footage straight out of the camera will work. Why now? Vision Pro supports Wide FOV playback for GoPro HERO 13 and the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. And more camera model will be supported soon. For the safest and most reliable workflow right now to guarantee your video is in the correct APMP format, I recommend using AVConvert, which is new in the macOS 26 Tahoe. This method also opens the door to more camera type like the Qoocam 3 Ultra with the VR 180 mod, DJI camera, and other immersive camera we have reviewed here on this channel. Now, let my Apple persona to teach you how to do it on the Insta360 X5 camera. Want your Insta360 or Canon 180 footage to feel truly immersive on Vision Pro? Here's how to encode your 360, 180 or Wide FOV video using Apple's new APMP format for smooth playback in visionOS 26. Step 1. Make sure your Mac is running macOS Tahoe version 26. Then open Insta360 Studio. Edit your X5 footage and export it in 360 video format using H.265 at 120 megabits per second. Stay between 100 to 150 for best quality. Step 2. Right-click the export file and choose Encode Selected Video Files. In the drop-down, select HEVC 4320p. This supports up to 8K 360 video in APMP. You can also shift+click to batch encoding multiple files all at once. Step 3. Airdrop the final .mov file to your Vision Pro. Play it, you'll first see a portal view like your panoramic photo, but this time it's a panoramic video. But better, click Immersive mode right here and boom, you are now inside the video. Look around and watch out for the server. For Canon EOS VR, use the latest EOS VR utility to calibrate, edit, and stabilize your 3D 180 video. Click Export and set the format to H.264 420 MP4 8-bit, apply LUT. As this video is shot on the Canon Cine 3, export it. Alternatively, you can also use Adobe Premiere or DaVinci Resolve to render for an even higher quality. your output video is still a side-by-side very high-resolution VR 180 video. This video should be able to upload and playback on YouTube VR correctly. If not, go back and watch my other tutorials on YouTube VR encoding. Now, right-click the rendered file and choose Encode Selected Video Files. This time though, you are encoding a MV-HEVC from a stereo side-by-side source. So go ahead and choose MV-HEVC 4320p and click Continue. After render is done, airdrop the file onto your Vision Pro. The playback will start at reduced immersion mode, like a spatial video, but way better FOV and 3D parallax. Click this button right here will open up the full immersive 180, just like Apple Immersive Video. This is Vatican City, by the way. It is our next original travel film by Kitty Turner, which will be available on our visionOS app, Spatial Film, soon. If you are more technical, you can also use the AVConvert command line to convert existing content into APMP format manually. Drop a comment down below if you need that exact command line. I'm happy to share that with you. One of the most asked questions I get is about render resolution, frame rate, and bit rate for the best playback on Apple Vision Pro. Don't worry, I got you covered. Here are the recommended APMP delivery specs. First, for video encoding, use HEVC, either main or main 10 with 420 chroma subsampling. For color space, you can use the Rec 709 or P3D65, but I highly recommend P3D65 for HDR playback. And if you're working in DaVinci Resolve 20, make sure your render page color space is set to P3D65 and ST2084. Obviously, that also means you need to shoot in at least 12-bit like the Canon C-Log3 with Cinema Gamut and use DaVinci Resolve Wide Gamut as your color management pipeline. I have a full tutorial on this very soon, but if you are already comfortable grading in HDR, just remember to set your final nit value to 108, and make sure it's set to P3D65 and ST2084. That will give you the rich, vivid color, right in line with Apple's own immersive video on Apple TV. Now, let's talk about resolution and frame rate. For mono 360 video, the recommended resolution is 7680 by 3840 at 30 frames per second. But here's the thing, you can push to 60 frames in 8K and it will play back just fine. Apple guidelines are on the conservative side, but we tested 8K 60 frames with no issue. For 90 frames per second, you have limit to 4K for now. For stereo MV-HEVC, you will want to use 4320 by 4320 per eye. That's the upper limit, but 4096 by 4096 also work, especially if you are exporting from the EOS VR utility. Just keep in mind, to hit 4320, you will need camera like the Red V-Raptor X or URSA Cine Immersive. Don't stretch pixels from your Canon to fake higher resolution. Just stick with 4096 for clear, accurate result. And finally, let's talk about bitrate. We usually go up to 150 megabits per second for our Patreon download to get the best image quality possible for our viewers. But for content you plan to stream, I recommend staying under 120 megabits per second for smoother performance and better compatibility. Now let's quickly talk about audio, which is just as important as video in immersive content. While stereo audio will still work, we recommend encoding your audio using Apple Positional Audio Codec, also known as APAC. The good news is, for APMP file, Vision Pros use the same Ambisonic audio format that's already supported on MetaQuest and YouTube VR. So if you've been following my Ambisonic audio tutorial in Reaper or using the Fairlight in DaVinci Resolve, you have already on the right track. Those workflows still apply. You can use something like the Zoom A3 VR right here to capture first order Ambisonic, or upgrade to something like the Voice Audio Spatial mic right here for third order Ambisonic. When you have captured the audio, you will just encode it into APAC and mux it with your APMP video for final delivery. If you're an audio engineer who works in the film and TV industry, you probably already know what APAC is and how to encode it. But if this is new to you as a content creator, don't stress, there are a ton of resources out there, and we will also have a dedicated APAC mixing tutorial coming up very soon, designing using Fairlight in DaVinci Resolve 20. Finally, let's talk about Apple Immersive Video. How good is Apple Immersive Video compared to APMP or traditional VR 180 side-by-side stereo video? Well, the idea behind immersive video is revolutionary, to say the least. If you have not, I would highly recommend to go on my visionOS app, Spatial Film, available free on Apple Vision Pro, and check out our latest release, Vanilla Lily, A Stroke of Destiny, which is encoded in AIVU format and playback using the same player API Apple TV are using, which now publicly available on Apple developer website. We also have the VR 180 version next to it in the same SOAR resolution. You can see the quality of Apple immersive video is so much better on Vision Pro. You won't be able to create Apple immersive video unless you have a Blackmagic URSA Cine immersive camera or similar custom built camera in the same class. So this format is really only available to high-end studio and very wealthy individual who pre-order the camera. I am not one of those wealthy individuals, just to be clear, but for the sake of educating this amazing and growing community, I bite the bullet and also pre-order the URSA Cine Immersive myself, so I can teach you everything you need to know about it. Your viewership, your subscription, your like and share, and that's what makes this possible, so thank you. Now, if you are not familiar with the URSA Cine Immersive, it's the Blackmagic latest flagship camera, priced at $32,000 USD. It captured 8160 by 7220 per eye, that is 59 megapixel per eye at 90 frames per second. That means it's pushing over 10 billion pixels per second. It's currently the only camera on the market with clarity that actually approaches human visual fidelity. Here is how the creation pipeline works. First, you shoot using the URSA Cine Immersive camera, then you edit your footage inside DaVinci Resolve Studio Immersive Edition, which by the way, comes free with the camera. After that, you use Apple Immersive Video Utility to preview everything directly inside your Vision Pro, and yes, that preview works in real time inside DaVinci Resolve 20. Finally, you will encode and package the final video using Apple Compressor for distribution. We will have a dedicated video on each step of this process, going really in depth so you can understand and master the full Apple immersive pipeline. If you are curious what the Blackmagic URSA Cine Immersive camera look like, Apple also provided a beautiful sample video for download alongside with the necessary metadata files. Just down here and unzip. You will see this beautiful sunset drone footage in HDR, 90 frames per second. The resolution is only 4K per eye, so I'm assuming the camera captured in 8K per eye, but only delivered 4K on Vision Pro. I also want to point out that Apple Immersive Video doesn't just rely on Ambisonic APAC audio. It uses an entirely new format called Apple Spatial Audio Format, or ASAF for short. This format is on a whole different level. It doesn't just play back spatial sound, it actually takes into account your viewing environment on Vision Pro and recreate dynamic reverb and reflection that adapt to your space. It's designed to make you feel like you are inside the scene, and it adds a layer of realism that go way beyond traditional formats. To even decode ASAP, the system needs positional data from the Apple Vision Pro headset right here, so this is not something you can experience on a standard screen or through a traditional headphone. This might be the best audio format out there right now. It is better than Dolby Atmos, and I would even argue it beats what you can get in a high-end theater experience or the most expensive soundbar system at home. But with great power comes a ridiculous amount of complexity. ASAP uses a crazy number of channels and is extremely difficult to produce. You will need at least a voice audio spatial mic right here to get started. But ideally, you really need to record with a 64-channel Ambisonic mic, which costs about the same as a house in California. For post-production, you will need the Pro Tool with the Apple AAX plugin or DaVinci Resolve Fairlight 20, which now support ASAP mixing. Don't worry, we are putting together a dedicated series on tutorial just for the ASAP format because, yeah, it's complicated. So yes, there's a lot to learn, and this video is just the beginning. Think of this as your overview, your entry point. We will be diving deep into each of these topics in upcoming masterclass episode right here on the channel, from encoding workflow and Ambisonic audio to full production pipeline with the Apple Immersive video. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe and give this video a like. It helps more creators discover this content, this channel, and grow with us. Everything I have covered here is also available in the WWDC 25 developer training section, so if you are a developer looking into going even further, definitely check out those videos. In the next video, we are going hands-on with the URSA Cine Immersive. I will explore the camera in depth and talk through exactly how to work with it for Vision Pro. So stick around, keep learning, and as always, thank you for being part of this amazing community. I will see you in the next one.